don't forget, be sure to subscribe to my channel and tap the bell for notifications.
Hey guys, what's going on? Sunny here with Online Sales Funnel Academy, coming to you from my home office near Seattle, Washington. Alright guys, in tonight's video I wanted to do a tutorial style video, and I wanted to explain the concept of a custom audience. So for anybody, if you have never run an ad yet inside of Facebook or Instagram, this is kind of like the high level piece I want you to take away from today's lesson. Whenever you structure an ad inside of Facebook, here's an example of an ad right here on the left hand side, you have the ability to put the actual audience inside of that ad. Let me show you what I mean. Your perfect audiences are on Facebook and Instagram, okay? So Facebook and Instagram allow you to base their targeting based on interests, demographics, and behaviors. Or you can also include a custom audience. So in order for us to create a custom audience, you're going to want to go to https://business.facebook.com. If you're already logged into Facebook, you should see a dark gray bar across the top. And then you're going to click on Business Settings, and then you're going to click on Audiences. Once the Audiences tab opens up, you're going to see a button that says Create Audience. And at the time of this recording, here's a snapshot that was taken today. There are currently 12 different kinds of custom audiences, and we're going to go through each one of them one by one. But before we get into that piece, especially if you've never run an ad before, I would like you to go back and watch this video and pause the screen on each one of these slides and take your time and really think about what kind of ads would be most beneficial to you. And the reason I say that is this. If you're someone who is brand new and you're just starting an ad for the first time, your audiences would be different than someone who's had their business account up and running and has a lot of content and they've been around for, let's say, 6 months to a year, versus someone who is, maybe you're an Instagram influencer or something like that, and primarily you do all of your activity on Instagram. Going to have very different objectives depending on the type of business that you have. And you'll see what I mean by the end of this. So let's get into them one by one. All right, the first one that we have is Facebook, and the amount of days that we have available for it is 365 days. And as you can see right here, you basically have, looks like you have 6 options. The top one is everyone who's engaged with your page, anyone who's visited your page, people who have engaged with any post or ad, people who have clicked any call to action button, people who have sent a message to your page, or people who have saved your page or any post. And as you can see, and keep in mind that there's 3 levels of customer awareness. As we're moving through these, you're going to see that Facebook has tried to break down the ability for the consumer to get the business owner to get in front of the right consumer at the right time. Okay, now if let's say you want to run ads on Instagram, your choices are very similar, and you can build an audience that's good for also 365 days. You can choose everyone who's engaged with your business, or you can slice it up and say anyone who's visited your profile, anybody or people who have engaged with any post or ad, people who have sent a message to your business profile, or people who have saved any post or ad. The third most popular, especially for e-com and services, is called website. And this is only good for 180 days. They keep this information on the Facebook pixel inside of your account for 180 days. So you want to make sure that if you decide to start running ads off platform to your physical product, let's say you have a website where you're selling a product, or you have a sales funnel and you've got your pixel data inside of it, you want to make sure you don't do a lot of starting and stopping of your Facebook ad, because it's literally a rolling number of 180 days. So if you run the ad hard for 60 days and then you stop for 90, then that data is going to fall off, and you're going to lose those people in the first couple months that you would have paid to collect their data on the pixel. In other words, Facebook tracks and makes sure that only the most relevant information that's, activity is recorded into the pixel, and they don't consider anybody who has come to your site more than 6 months ago, that's not considered fresh and relevant data for the algorithm. So that being said, your three choices are people who have met. You can also choose any or all of the following criteria. So you can do website visitors in the past 180 days, people who have visited specific pages of your website, or visitors by time spent. And you are also allowed to put the URL of your website in right here also. Okay, the next one, which is really super powerful, is the ability to upload a custom email address list of prospects and customers and serve ads directly to them. So if you are a small business owner, and probably the most common example of this is small business owners that I meet that have these really large databases in their POS, their point of service computer, and maybe they haven't started doing emails yet, but they've got, let's say, 5,000 or 6,000 emails just sitting there. You can literally export them in a CSV, .xl style format, upload this into here, and you can literally serve your ads directly in front of your existing customers. Facebook goes out and finds them and matches them against the email address that you give them. They don't always map them one-to-one, and the people who are getting served don't know that that's what's going on when they see the ad. They don't see an alert that says, hey, you're being targeted, but it's done on the backside. So really powerful, especially if you want to remarket to them and get back in front of your existing customers and put new products in front of them. All right, so this one's cool. This one is create an audience based on event activity inside of Facebook. So a lot of people, tend to have events that they're hosted, and that could be an online event or an offline event. It used to be, with the world being kind of crazy right now, we had a lot more offline events where, like church fundraisers or, concerts and things like that. Or you can have online events where, hey, I'm going to be hosting a live event, purchase a ticket, or are you going to go? And as you can see, there's multiple different levels of intent here. People who said they were going, people who said they were interested, people who have visited the event page, people who have engaged, they bought the tickets, purchased tickets, or had intention of purchasing tickets. So you can literally subdivide down your, slice up all your data here, and it's good for 365 days. So if you're a brand that is constantly running events, this might be a good way to capture the people who are engaging with your brand. All right, next up is our shopping behavior inside of Facebook or Instagram, and it's good for 365 days. And it looks like, and again, you can do any or all of the criteria. You choose your Facebook page, and it's people who have viewed products or added products to their cart or have purchased any products. And I believe this happens inside of like a carousel, and when people have like actual stores installed, like a theme inside of their Facebook account, that's when this would happen. Okay, this next one is you're going to create an audience based on instant experiences. So I do believe that is inside Instagram primarily. I don't know if you can do it inside of Facebook as well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So you would pick any people who meet any or all of the criteria of an instant experience or have clicked on an instant experience, and that audience is good for 365 days. So if you did a lot of going lives and adding to your experiences throughout the, and that's where you get a lot of your followers, then you can create a database of an audience of people who always watch you on the lives, and you'd be able to serve your ad to them. Okay, next up is one of my favorites. So if you are a brand that does a lot of videos and video creation, or a lot of lives and live broadcasts, here is a really cool one. It's called Videos Viewed inside of Facebook and Instagram. So it lets you choose the length of of how long people have actually viewed your videos. So the choices are 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or you can do percentages. 25% of the video, 50, 75, or 95. And the reason you would want, again, to do different lengths of video is, for example, people who have watched 95% of your video, those are your solid 5%ers. Those are the people who absolutely love your brand, because most people don't make it all the way to the end of the video. So you might just, so if you have an offer, let's say you're going to offer a paid offer, maybe you'd only want to target the people who've watched 95% of your videos or more, right? Because those guys are your diehard, true blue fans. But if you are trying to just, serve another ad to your audiences who have already gotten to know you but haven't really, maybe they don't have enough experience with you yet, you would target them on 25 to 75% of watch time, right? And see if you can't warm them up with more content before you drop an offer in front of them. Again, these are all, based on each person's brand. Okay, next up is you are able to create an audience based on app opens and downloads inside of Facebook. And this activity is also good for 365 days. So if you are someone who's developed an app and you're constantly pushing the app and getting people to try and do opens and downloads, then you can retarget them based on the app activity. Important note is that you're only allowed to target people who have opened your own app, the app that you own, and that's why you'll see on my screen, I don't have an app, so no options are available. Had I had my own app, it would be right there on the screen. All right, next up is we can create an audience of people based on folks who have interacted with the marketplace. Okay, and the marketplace was rolled out, I believe, about 1.5 years ago, and that's where they have everything from, items for sale, items for rent, or places for rent. It's where you go into, they call it the marketplace. It's its own little subsection inside of Facebook. So the data here, they only hold it for 180 days. And you only have 2 choices. You can have people who have viewed the products in your marketplace catalog, or people who have messaged you about products in your catalog. So if you do a lot of activity over on that particular part of the platform inside of Facebook, then this might be a good option for you. All right, next up is for people who like to do lead generation for their businesses. You can create an audience based on lead forms that are filled out inside of Facebook. Now, I've never heard of lead forms. That the whole idea of it is that it's a landing page inside of Facebook so people don't have to go off a platform. However, Facebook has cut the retention down to 90 days. So again, just like sending people off platform, they're only going to let you keep the data for 90 days on your pixel inside of Facebook because with the algorithm, because they feel like that the most proficient data is the data that's the most current and fresh that hits the pixel. So anything over 90 days in their mind is probably not fresh and it's not a good lead anymore. But what you can do is you can target anybody who has opened the lead form, people who opened it but didn't submit, and people who've opened and submitted the form. So if you're someone who is primarily doing lead gen, and front-end sales, this would be probably a good fit for you. All right, and we got one more here. So we've got one, it's called Create an Audience Based on Offline Custom Events. And again, this is only good for 90 days. And I don't really have an example on this one, but your Facebook, the reason I put this one last is because it's the one I use the least with my clients, but it does have really strong potential, so I don't want to leave it out. But you have the opportunity to create your own event using Pixel, and a little bit different advanced strategies with the Pixel, and recording different kinds of events around the web. I don't have, one example of this would be like if you wanted to track how many times somebody clicked a button on your Shopify store or something like that, but they didn't actually didn't purchase, then you can create those own offline events here. And staying consistent, because it's offline, they only keep that data for 90 days on the Pixel. All right, you guys, your head is probably swimming a little bit. I know mine is, and I'm an expert at this stuff, so great job. Make sure you go back and re-listen to this and look at the slides again, and if you have any questions, you know, what I like to do is I teach framework, so you want to start with the end in mind. So with something like this, you want to make sure that you figure out, you know, who are you targeting first before you go run the ad, right? So you want to figure out the activity that they've already taken with your brand, hopefully, and work backwards and build the ad around it. That way you're laser focused and you'll never get lost when you're building your ads again. All right, you guys, that was our show for tonight. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.